Hello and welcome to another Storm Swords match. This is game number 2 between mCon and Suicide Solution. Tales of Doom. This is mCon esports map choice. Suicide Solution ended up choosing Battlefield of Eternity, which was the first game. Such a close game there. Whew! But hopefully with technical glitches fixed, we're going to have mCon, the blue team again here on the left. Archu playing that Jaina. Philibert on the Thrall. Pradin playing Karazim as the team captain. Myagus playing Johanna, the tank player, and Solid SMD on that Tassadar. In the meantime, Suicide Solution here got 1% playing his Muradin again. Slamjam on that Uther. Slinger playing the Diablo. Kiatani on the Vala, and Myagus playing that Falstad team captain there. We're going to have a bit of engagement in the middle initially. Both teams head up there straight away. And yeah, nothing really much happening here. We're probably going to end up having Falstad fly down bottom and couple transition up to top, but both creep waves taken out in the mid lane here, losing experience. So a bit of a worry here as 1% comes down on that Muradin, taking a clever path as to avoid getting ganked and killed. He's going to dwarf toss himself over the wall though to get here quicker, to soak these this creep damage as the Diablo and Vala come through. Take that lane. They're at an experience disadvantage already. They've lost out on about 5 or 6 creeps worth, and that's really showing as level 2 is hit by mCon first. Now, you may think a few creeps isn't that important, but in the early game when it's the race to level 10, it is. It's so important. 1% there on the Muradin. Can do what he can. This is interesting here from mCon because we've got 4 going from top to middle. It's quite a big map, so it's not something we'd expect here. As the Diablo Shadow charges in, he's going to end up overpowering the Thrall, but no, he's going to run away with his Wind Fury movement speed. Slinger taking a lot of damage, as is 1% on that Muradin. He's used his Dwarf Toss, I believe, to engage in this fight. He's Dwarf Toss again, but he's going to get killed in mid-air by the Jaina, so well played by him. Slam Jam on that Uther, not quite able to have enough healing to save them out. So we've actually got double support composition here coming out from mCon. Karazim Tassadar, I like to see it, and against Muradin Diablo, I think 7-sided strike is almost a certainty. And I think that's such clever drafting right there. They've got Johanna, really good solo tank. On top of that, Thrall has some sustain, but they're bringing Tassadar in for the extra shields, and Karazim's going to take 7-sided strike most likely to deal with that double tank lineup. And first altar spawn goes the way of mCon. Nice and easy, no contention there whatsoever. So the first shot's going off here. Now with this replay functionality, I unfortunately don't have the number of shots, so we're just going to have a fun time guessing. But Philibert taking some damage. Slamjam though, falling really low on that Uther. He's going to end up getting rooted and stunned and slowed, and that's just too much. Jaina slows, plus a Karazim, plus a Thrall, and you're dead. If you're slow and you can't run away from the Thrall, or you can't stun him out and get away, you are absolutely dead. Myagus though, on this top lane with Falstad, trading off a little bit, nothing special going on there. Not seen Jaina competitive in a while. She's still really strong, one of the 3 mages that are out now. This patch was just before Li Ming, sorry, this game was done before the Li Ming patch, but after the balance patch, so interesting to see that potentially Rhaegar was banned. Don't quite have the bans or anything. All the drafting was done on Heroes Draft, but as a result of some errors with it and things like that, I'm not able to show the drafts. Can't quite see the bans, but these are the lineups we've been left with. As Philibert on that Thrall just gets caught out. He's going to get Shadow Charge and overpowered. Not quite able to run away, almost escapes, but Dwarf Toss from 1% cutting off his escape. As this siege camp does get cleaned up quite handily here, in favour of Suicide Solution, who are, remember, 1 up in this best of 2. So if mCon win, this will be the first draw of the tournament, and Suicide Solution upset. And if Suicide Solution wins, sorry, they will have upset the current champions of the group, which is mCon Esports, who haven't dropped a map yet until that last one. So well played by them already, putting them in contention for first place of the group. provided the rest of their games go well, that is, of course. Myagus channeling this altar, not going to get it as it just gets cancelled at the end there by the Condemn coming up from Johanna. A lot of damage being done. Myagus not right-clicking on that false stab, which they need to do to keep the damage levels equal. Slinger on that Diablo, shadow charging his way, and he's going to get killed though. Committing a bit too hard there. No escape, no heals. Archie's going to end up falling though to the false stab. Falstad going to die as well. Philibert on that Thrall doing so much damage. Going to end up picking up Slam Jam on the Uther. And 1% Dwarf tossing his way to safety just about. This is a tower, sorry, yet another altar going in favour of Suicide Solution. So of mCon against Suicide Solution. mCon already picking up the tower that spawned on the left here. And that is 28 health left on the core. And I know that because 4 times 3 as the altars go is 12. So in the meantime, level 8, a full level advantage here for mCon. Looking really, really good here in this the start of this game as the Headless Horseman does spawn out. 1%. Not quite doing it. Now, interesting to note here, we actually had the Tassadar on the other team here, on Suicide Solution, in game number 1. And he did a huge amount of work. Keep, you know, supplying the extra hit burst healing that the Brightwing was lacking, and now we've just got a solo Uther, no extra support. So interesting to see how this double support versus double tank matchup goes. And so far in favour of the double support. Slam Jam taking so much damage from Praedon on that Karazhan. The siege camp is going to end up going in favour of mCon, but Slam Jam, I don't know how he survived, barely getting out of that with his life. Gonna end up the Tassadar and the Karazhan, both supports falling for mCon here. So Suicide Solution taking a bit of an advantage there, catching up here a lot on soak and experience, but the Thrall in that mid lane taking that solo soak, going to be keeping the advantage in favour of mCon. Level 10 here, in mere moments here for mCon. Sorry, Suicide Solution need to catch up and get this next one, as the next 2 altars spawn middle and bottom, so this is where the next point of contention is going to be. Myagus on that false side, we're expecting to fly his way in, but Slam Jam taking so much damage here, getting caught out by the Thrall, the Karazhan, and the Johanna, the Envenom from the Thrall ending up finishing the Uther, and that it means it's going to be a 4v5, and level 10 reach for both teams now. 7-sided strike was taken. We're going to have Lightning Breath by Diablo this time, so not Apocalypse as we saw last game. In fact, we're going to have the Falstad falling up here to the to the Tassadar gank. Philibert coming down though, doing a lot of damage to 1%. Going to end up taking him down with the help of Archie's Jaina. Sorry for missing a little bit of the action there. Got a bit flustered. Both altars looking the way they're going to go the way of mCon. Praedon just getting interrupted there by Diablo's flame waves, but that 7-side strike is going to pick him up nice and easy. Tassadar taking that bottom altar. Kirtani on that Valo escaping with just a little bit of health, and this is all 5 of these altars going the way of mCon, which means they've gotten Suicide Solution's core down to 20, which is halfway. Already 7 minutes into this game. A cheeky little aggressive siege camp taken here, as Kirtani actually is going to get caught out. She's going to end up almost falling. The Divine Shield coming out from Slam Jam on the Uther here, going to keep her alive for as long as possible. She's getting body blocked hard though. Slam Jam taking a lot of damage, not able to keep her alive as the Thrall comes through for that last bit. Whiff of the Blessed Shield. So whiff of the is it Blessed Shield? Yeah, it is Blessed Shield, there we go. I thought it was Divine Shield for a brief moment, but that's Uther's ultimate. Whiff of the Blessed Shield there means that we're going to have not that heroic down. Didn't really matter, it was there to finish off the Vala, but she died, so Myagus doing some damage to Philibert, who, without getting the jump, might just have to run away. Yeah, mCon, they have a level advantage. They're just looking really, really strong in this game number 2. This is the mCon we're used to seeing. Maybe they needed that warm-up, tough game number 1 against Suicide Solution to get into their own, but really taking it so far. Boss potential, not going to happen. Philibert backing off, seeing the ganking coming. Very well played by him. Good game sense, but in the meantime, we're down to the bottom lane. We're going to have the Diablo falling. Sorry, I just missed the tail end of that. as a 4-man group here. Right in a good position here for mCon for this next altar. Suicide Solution though, looking to take this fort. Not too sure as to why they're doing this, as they in fact lose this fort down in bottom as well. So I would say forts the keep. They're trying to take the lumber mill, but they've lost the graveyard. So this altar spawns in 10. Good sundering here, disrupting this out. In fact, the Falstar is going to end up falling to the fort. I think it's taking the damage. Slam Dam's going to end up falling. Rain Avengers come down, not going to save out the Valor. She dies. Slinger's the last one left on the Diablo, and he's just going to get cordoned off and killed. This looks like GG already. That is 5 towers, as they didn't quite kill the fort here, going the way of mCon. That brings them down to 15. Their core is falling fast. Suicide Solution need to do something big, and they need to do something. They do need to do it soon, as the boss is in fact taken here from mCon as well. So that's another 4 down to 11. Whew. This is starting to get dangerous. I would really love to see mCon come down here, pick up the siege camp, because this is going to go to the bottom lane and then just push with it, do an extra 3 shots. That would be really, really big from them, but I think we're going to see this kind of counter take here just to make sure that that's denied. Makes a lot of sense. I would have liked to see that bit of a commitment. Would have done 3 extra nice shots there to the core. But alas. Instead we're going to have mCon sieging up this top lane. Going to end up taking the mines. Most likely here. As Suicide Solution take back the graveyard. The little Death Spirit there. You can always identify them from what buildings are nearby. Like this is the blacksmith, because you can see it's got the blacksmith. This is the mines, because it's got mines. Got the lumber mill up here. Obviously you got the barracks, I believe it's called. You got the towers there and some defensive structures. And then finally down here on the bottom left, you've got the farm. But meanwhile, a little bit of engagement going on here. Myagus gonna get caught out, not in danger of falling anytime soon. And the positioning of mCon again, this altar spawns just solo at the bottom, and that's actually put them in a good strong spot to take this. As Suicide Solution, they're in this top lane, they're taking back their fort, but they're taking back the mines. They're going to lose, take the keep, but they're probably going to lose this keep down in the bottom lane. And just as this is taken, we're going to probably have the Charism come channel this. No, not quite. So back 5-3. Remember, 11 shots left on the core of Suicide Solution. And so 7-side strike comes out immediately, not going to do enough as the Vala does vault herself away. And the Jaina, oh, an amazing force wall here from Solid SMD. We're going to have the Shadow Charge and the Overpower coming on Archu, taking so much damage. The huge Lightning Breath coming out. Diablo is going to pick up one already. The Jaina's falling. Solid SMD here, going to fall low on that Tassadar, as is Myagus on the Johanna, going to fall as well. The Muradin coming through with the stuns. The Dimensional Shift coming out the Tassadar, going to dodge the Muradin stun. Not going to fall, but that means the first altar, only 3 shots going in favour of Suicide Solution, and that means they are, oh geez, 2 of these shots in fact going out to the core there. So that siege count taken up here is going to do a little bit. So I believe we're on 9 shots left for the core, and 37 in favour of mCon. So rough game for Suicide Solution at this point, as mCon finding their feet again. Jaina's respawned. Tunnel has just opened, so the Johanna can take that quite happily, as it looks like she's going to. 1% though on that Muradin coming through, stunning out the Thrall. Thrall taking a lot of damage here. The shield coming out from Tassadar. He's just going to be able to win Fury and run his way away, but the Overpower coming back in. Good Lightning Breath coming out from Diablo. Not killing anybody off though. Myagus on that Johanna, just distracting the rest of the Diablo's team, as Suicide Solution weren't doing anything with the advantage they have though, although the Charism's going to end up falling. Huge Sundering landing. The Divine Shield and the Youth are going to keep himself alive. Myagus on that Falstar doing so much damage, as they're going to end up picking the Johanna and the Jaina. 1% going to be able to get away with his life just about, but the Uther and the Vala not so lucky. Philibert on full health. Tassadar supporting him there, and they're just going to keep going. So a 1 fight. And in fact, Slinger ended up dying as well. I think the Diablo ended up falling. Yeah, absolutely. If my memory serves. And 1% on that Muradin going to come through. And that's going to be a dead Tassadar. Underestimating the damage that these tanks are going to do. And good overpower out from the Diablo here. Philibert on that thrall, going to end up falling to the huge right-click damage from the Falstad. Just as these two altars spawn, all 5 are dead. This is such a good position. Kharazim going to come back alive, but it means that Suicide Solution, they are, yeah, they're in such a good spot here. I mean, their core is really low, don't get me wrong. But these altars spawning in 10 seconds means they're going to have all 5 members up. The Thrall and Tastar are still going to be dead here, so they should absolutely contest this altar. Muradin going back, tap the well, just make sure he's got enough mana. You see Hammerang coming out here from the Falstad. Johanna getting caught out here, the overpower plus the Shadow Charge. Well, Shadow Charge and the overpower. Going to have a good shotgun, sorry, Hinterland's Blast come down, really good lightning breath just to zone him out. It's not been called Shock and Awe for a long time, Stefan, what are you talking about? As that's one altar going the way of Suicide Solution. The second one most likely will, as the Thrall isn't alive yet. Need to start channeling it right now though. Myagus on that Falstad, looking to do so, not doing so though. Oh, the Kharazim's going to get caught out and absolutely evaporated. I didn't even see him, he's just dead. That's another altar going the way of Suicide Solution. That's another 4 shots. So we're down to 31 left as the boss does spawn. Potentially look for that to happen. Solid SMD going to get keep himself alive though with a really good force wall. So, level 20 soon for both teams. Well, almost level 19 for both. The experience is even. Johanna unstoppabling the judgment from the Uther. So really, really good use of the trait there. Stopping the overpower as well. It's well played by the Johanna. Semi-Azaz with that really good reactional speed. Philibert going and taking the siege camp. mCon going to pick that up. But countered straight away by Suicide Solution taking their own. So, interesting play by both teams. This siege camp's going to get cleaned up quite handily by Suicide, so they don't have to worry about that threat. And they're not going to support their siege camp pushing in this bottom lane. Going up top, potentially looking to push out the boss, or at least maybe take a fort or something. But no, they let their siege camp get cleaned up for nothing. They don't really do anything there. But the experience is dead even as they just hit level 19 there. Small, tiny incremental advantage here for mCon. This next fight's really going to determine the game, because this winner of the next fight gets level 20 first. Winner of the next fight gets the next set of altars, and yeah, it has to be Suicide Solution if they want to come back into this. But really good engagement here. The Shadow Charge plus overpower coming from Diablo. Solid SMD almost falling on that Tassadar. Going to have the Prescience pop as well as the Dimensional Shift cuts, making sure it's back up on full health. Tapping the well. Rain of Vengeance used for that, as was the 7-sided strike. Slam Jam on the Uther though, not in a great position, just 3 altars spawn. This could be a turning point here, or the death and defeat of Suicide Solution. They need to make this one count. mCon though, looking to take advantage of this. Archer starting to channel it. We're going to have a really good Hinterland's Blast landing on 3. Philibert on that Thrall, take a lot of damage, falling really low, but the Blessed Shield, sorry, the Divine Shield coming out from the Uther, keeping the Muradin in line. Blessed Shield from the Johanna, stunning out the 3 damage. He's done a really good job there. Going to have the Thrall, Kharazim and Jaina although falling in favour of Suicide Solution, who appear to have won this fight massively. That was such a good ultimate there by the Falstad. The Hinterland's Blast just doing everything it needed to. Slinger on that Diablo, going to end up channeling this. Falstad taking the first altar. I think one of the altars in fact went the way of mCon. I think that middle altar went the way of mCon. Didn't quite keep track of that, but at least 2 of them and the boss are going to go in favour of Suicide Solution, who are bringing this game close. The comeback is real, guys. The dream. Can Suicide Solution 2-0 mCon? I don't know. mCon just got such a good early start. All they need is 1 altar. Look at this. They just need 1 altar and they win. I'm pretty sure it was mCon who got this bottom altar. What, they were 9 shots away, and I now think they are 4 shots, maybe 5. This is terrifying for Suicide Solution. 1 mistake and they're gone. But mouse control, sorry, mCon. I keep calling the mouse control their old name. mCon. They can lose a couple more altars still. They've got about 16 shots left on theirs. I'm just trying to think. I think it's 17 in total they've got left. So Yeah, it's exactly 17. So they're not going to lose on the next Altar spawning. For now. For what we know. The boss has been taken, that's not going to be up for another 4 minutes, so don't have to worry too much about that surprising extra 4 shots. The Suicide Solution doing what they can to keep alive in this game. This is so close right now. Both teams hitting level 20. Upgraded Rain of Vengeance for Vala, that's unusual to see. We're going to get Rewind out from Tassadar. Again, bit of an odd one, but we'll see how it goes. As in fact, the Diablo's going to get caught out here. 7-sided strike coming down, not killing him as he gets Divine Shielded by the Uther. Fantastic play here. The massive Rain of Vengeance coming down, landing on the Johanna twice. He's going to get Shadow Charge and overpowered. Semi-Azaz needing destructible pops, but everyone on Suicide Solution is so low. Uther's going to fall almost to the Thrall. The Thrall Fillerback doing so much work. He picks up the full set and the Vala. Slam Jam on the Uther's going to end up falling. He's dead. 1% on the Muradin. Stunning out the Tassadar, trying to get himself away. Might be able to Dwarf Toss himself to safety, but the Thrall's just doing so much damage to Jaina as well. The Keratin coming through, and is he gonna survive? Don't know, the wall coming out. Uther's come back alive, but the Thrall's chasing him down, not quite able to finish him off. As that is that last altar taken by the Johanna in the bottom lane, and that is GG. Well played by mCon. Drawing out the series 1-1. Whoa, that last fight! That was everything it needed to be for mCon, and oh, the Thrall did so much damage on the back end there. I'm just going to have a quick look at the damage done. Jaina covering it out, but really, really closely followed. Diablo actually doing the most damage that game. Huge. Whew! So, well played to mCon there. Drawing the series 1-1 versus Suicide Solution, and maintaining their position #1 in the group. Gaining that 1 point for a draw. So, yeah, tune in next time for the next games, as Group 1 will be concluding soon eventually. We've got through about half the games, and yeah, we'll keep going from there. So, well played to both teams, and I hope they do both get through, because those were some intense games. Until next time.